Alrighty.
We're at the end of March,
Happy 2021.
so let's talk about January.
January.
Oh my God, what a time capsule.
I know. I feel like January, I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, I definitely remember watching this stuff, but like it
Feels
feels
like
like a
forever ago.
lifetime ago.
Exactly. Man. Well, let's go back to when times were simple and talk about January 2021.
Oh boy. Duncan, why don't you said you had seven things, right?
I do. Seven,
I only have
four,
five things. There's gonna be one thing I go off about because I loved it. But
perfect. That's
um,
why we do this.
heck yeah. Why don't
I
you take it
watched
away?
I watched Uncut Gems.
I've seen this movie
Tell me what you think of this movie.
with Adam Saddle.
Yeah,
It's one of those movies where like I enjoyed it, but I don't know that I'd watch it again. Like I really thought it was good, but I was like, okay, I've seen it.
yeah, I completely agree. This movie was it was weird, but not in the usual Adam Sandler weird. Um, I can kind of see why he attached himself to this project.
Mhm.
For those of you who don't know, this movie is about this. I mean, God, I don't even know what you could call him. He's like
I have a funny story about this movie I'm going to tell afterwards. So
he's
don't let me forget.
this almost like a broker. He's trying to like constantly like upsell things and make
He
money.
sells shiny Furbies.
He takes loans. He owns like a jewelry kind of front, and the whole
Uh,
point is that there's this like opal that he's trying to profit off of, like and get it's. But like I know
he's
when
his
I
worst enemy in that movie. Really, that's what the movie's about. It's about him being his worst enemy.
yes, he's constantly self-sabotaging. He's married to Elsa from Frozen, but like that marriage is constantly on the rocks. And
Also, she never sings though.
no, waste of a cameo.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Um, there's a bedazzled Furby that he has. Did you ever own a Furby?
I did own a Furby.
I did too. I
Did you?
missed those things.
My
They were
Furby
fun.
turned on in the middle of the night one time, so I beat it with like a bat until it was dead. I was a messed up child.
I have a funny story about this movie.
Tell it to me.
So I I just had potatoes and green beans, so it's stuck in my throat still. Um,
That's a story.
I was working at a movie theater,
Uh-huh.
and Uncut Gems was playing, and I had this old couple, elderly couple, come up to me, and he said, "We want to see the new Adam Sandler movie." And I said, "Well, ma'am, this isn't a comedy. I just want you to know, like, this
Right.
isn't a comedy. You know, there's a lot of it's like a very hard R-rated movie."
Uh-huh.
And she got offended. They got offended. They're like, "Oh, you can't. You think you can tell us what we want to see?" Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Okay, if you want to see Uncut Gems, like, fine, I'll sell you your ticket." So I sell them the tickets. They go in. 30 minutes later, they're pissed and they're marching and they come to me. They don't come to me. They said, "We want to speak to your manager. We need to speak to your manager." So I'm like, okay. I call my manager over and they're like, "This is the worst, most offensive movie we've ever seen." So then they point at me and they say, "He should have warned us." And I'm like, they're old, so I'm just like, okay, whatever. So then my boss goes, "Hey Frank, you got to warn him." And I was like, "I did." And he goes, "Are you serious?" I go, "Yeah, I did. I straight up told him it wasn't." And then one of my coworkers was like, "Yeah, I heard him." So that was that's that story I hold dear to
Well,
that movie.
that's good you weren't like fired over it. Like
Yeah.
and like you did
Then COVID
kind
hit
of
and I
warn
was let go. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
it isn't your job to warn every single ticket goer about the movie.
Yeah, I
However,
felt bad because they
you
were
did.
old and you could tell they thought they were gonna go see like Grown Ups 23. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, this movie is not the usual Adam Sandler movie. And I think I liked it, but at the same time, I think I'm right there with you. It's not something I would willingly jump into again.
maybe like 10 years from now, if I'm bored, it's 2 a.m. and I'm
Do
like,
you remember how that movie starts off with like his
inside his
clothes could
butthole.
be. That really set the tone for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I gotta say about that.
Would you like me to go?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm gonna start with a TV show. I've already talked about this show on the podcast, I think in our September one.
Mhm.
But I watched it again. I rewatched it, or a May one. It was way back. But I decided, you know what? I like the show a lot. I'm gonna watch it, and I watched it on HBO Max because no Wonder Woman came out, so I had to savor the HBO.
Right.
And I knew they had extended cuts of the episodes exclusively on HBO. So I was like, I want to check it out and see like how different it is. So I rewatched season 1 of Stargirl. And I gotta say, the extended episode, because I said I love the show before, so one of my nitpicks with it, like if I'm nitpicking, is some of the pacing felt a little weird in the episodes. But I have to say, with the extended cuts of it, it got rid of that problem. I love this show. I think everybody in America should be watching this show.
Really?
Yes.
I
I think
had
make
you
him happy.
recommend.
To me, it's the Spider-Man movie I've wanted that they're never going to give me, where I honestly feel like it's kids in high school who just so happen to be superheroes. And I know that people are like, oh, well, the new Tom Holland Spider-Man, it's like they do it, but then they're like, oh, let's go on this fancy trip to Europe or Washington, D.C. Like, it doesn't feel like they're high school students because they're constantly going. This feels like they're in high school, and like the people they go to high school, their parents are the villains and stuff, but like the kids have the powers and they're starting to learn. It's just so cool. Oh, it's so cute and it's so wholesome. I absolutely adore the show. And it's shot really well. They got a really good budget. It looks cinematic. I can't recommend it enough. I absolutely love it.
I've had you recommend it to me, and I know I promised you I'd watch it, and that I never got.
You got to check it out. At least the pilot episode.
Yeah, I mean, God, this is I think the third time you've brought this up, so like I will watch it.
I love the show. I love it
much.
I don't think it's the best. I still think the best of the DC universe shows is Doom Patrol, but Stargirl is like my that's the one I can relate to the most. Like I just love it. They captured high school for me. I don't know.
In one sentence, can you tell me what Stargirl is about?
It's just that. It's just kids in high school who just so happen to be superheroes. And it's what I like about it is with most superhero shows, it's like, oh, we have to save the city. Like the city's gonna blow up. But what's cool about this, and to me, what makes it more relatable, because like I grew up in the suburbs and stuff, is like it's superheroes in the suburbs. So it's kind of cool. I don't know. I just really like it. Just feels so different. I just love it. I absolutely love it. It's just so cute. It's just a cute. It's literally it's just a cute show to watch.
Okay.
It's wholesome.
It's not like edgy. It doesn't take itself seriously. None of that.
No, it's definitely fun, lighthearted. It feels like a Saturday morning cartoon that like takes itself serious. Like it's not too cartoon. It's not cartoony, but it feels like I could watch an animated version of it and be and like, you know.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I might
find. What's next, Duncan? Let's keep this train going.
I watched Midnight Cowboy.
Oh, isn't that one with like some dude in a car? But he's inappropriate. He does a lot of inappropriate things.
Yeah, this is about a man who moves to the Big Apple, the big New York.
Isn't a car? I could have sworn there's a car.
There are cars in it.
No, I'm thinking of something with a bunch of cars in it.
But this guy's like, I'm gonna make my own destiny. I'm gonna be a new man, and then he becomes a prostitute.
Oh, it is about. I thought it was. I was gonna say it's about a dirty man who does dirty things. That part I guessed. For some reason, I thought there were cars in it. Like I thought there was a big.
This is the movie with the infamous "I'm walking here" this is scene.
You know, I always get this movie confused with the movie A Streetcar Named Desire. So that's why I'm thinking about cars right now.
I mean, I kind of get that. They're both.
I don't even know what that movie's about, though. For some reason, I always confuse them, though. What is it? What is A Streetcar Named Desire about? Do you know? Have you seen it?
Actually, I don't know. We gotta do some
Is
research.
Midnight Cowboy better than the Pixar movie Cars?
You can't really compare them. They're about very different
Does
things.
anyone say ka-chow at any point?
No one
Like when
says
he's
that.
prostituting and he gets a client, does he go ka-chow?
I wish. I wish this movie was fun. I wish this movie was like kind of like jokey, but it's just sad. And like they want you to root for this guy, but he keeps making these weird ass decisions. It's one of those movies that's like it's old and like that's why it's good. You know, like by today's standards, this movie does not hold up.
Yeah.
It, I mean, I don't want to spoil it in case people want to watch it, but like there's a lot of like sickness and death in this movie.
Well, that
Like,
makes sense given the subject matter.
right. And it's about like how the spirit of the West kind of dies in the modern society. And I don't know, it has the energy of like a grandpa waving his cane, being like, kids these days and their colored hair, they don't get how hard things used to be. I don't know. I don't really recommend it. I mean, you're gonna watch it if you take a film class, but otherwise,
I've gone 4 years in film school and I've had it referenced, but I've never seen it.
I think you should keep that streak alive.
Alrighty, we will. We will.
What else, Frank?
I'm going to talk about another DC property that I watched. This is the last
Wow,
one
are
on
they
it. Okay, calm
paying
down,
you?
Duncan. Calm down. I watched one of their I used to be really into the animated movies, and I haven't watched them for a while. I don't know why. I just, you know what it is? You know what it's been? I usually rent them from my local library, but pandemic, I haven't been able to go anywhere.
I see.
So, and plus when I'm at college and stuff, I just haven't been able to go and rent them.
Yeah.
But with HBO Max, I had them at my fingertips. So, I watched basically what is the animated universe's version of like Endgame, which is Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, and this movie freaking slaps. Now,
Really?
it's very controversial among like half people hate it and half people love it. I loved it, just because like it's rated R and it's an animated movie,
Oh,
and like I'm gonna spoil it. The first 10 minutes is them going to Apocalypse, like the whole Justice League going to Apocalypse and to like kill Darkseid, and they all die. Like a good chunk of them die. Like they're just being torn apart. So then the rest of the movie kind of takes place on Earth, and it's like whoever's left basically, and they decide, let's band together, let's try to take it back. And I really liked it. I thought it was just it was a fun romp, Duncan. It was a fun romp. With all my DC favorites.
Wrong.
It was a real romp. And I just had a lot of fun with it, There's a dog barking really loudly, and don't they know, Duncan? Don't they know?
We are professional.
I know.
Well, tell that dog to be quiet on set.
That's all I had to say. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I watched Run.
Oh yeah, I recommended you watch this movie.
Per your recommendation, I watched Run, and oh my god,
It's
I
so
loved
good.
it.
It's so good.
Like,
I need to rewatch it now. I'm
5
thinking
out
about
of 5 stars. That movie nailed it.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of predictable, but in the way it's executed is so good you don't care.
Yeah, I was right. I was in the moment at every scene. Like, I love movies that give the main characters like two kinds of hurdles, like a physical one and then like a grand scale kind of one.
Well, yeah, that's the whole movie. Oh my god, the scene with the mailman. Oh my god.
So for those of you who don't know, Run is about a girl who is wheelchair ridden, who is approaching the age where she leaves for college, and her overbearing mother seems to be preventing her from leaving. And at first it's a very innocent kind of like she doesn't want her child to grow up kind of thing. But then the movie keeps going and you start picking up on clues that like, maybe this is not so innocent.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This movie, okay, Sarah Paulson powerhouse actress. She
Well, this movie was supposed to go to the theaters, and then COVID hit. It was supposed to come out on Mother's Day because they had the marketing was hilarious. If you look at the old marketing, it's
oh
like
man.
it's so funny. But then they decided to release it on Hulu because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see this in the theater because the sound design is phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a scene where they're just talking to the mailman, and my heart was like, oh my God, because depending on how the scene plays out, it basically dictates where the movie's gonna go. And like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's so good. It's on Hulu if you guys
Yeah.
want to check it out.
This is a hard recommend for everyone. Watch it.
Yeah.
I've never felt so like, I mean, because yes, it was predictable, but like these kind of movies either have a happy ending or a bad or an unhappy ending.
Uh-huh.
And I really didn't know which way it was gonna go.
Yeah.
It like I could see,
And I think your answer on how it does end could change depending on how you view the movie. I think that's interesting too.
absolutely there's like a psychological element of like you can't escape your upbringing where like
Yeah.
the final scene kind of drives it home. I gotta rewatch this movie actually.
I know I'm talking about. I'm getting so excited. I
This
need
is
to
like
rewatch.
this is one of like the top 5 horror movies for me. Like it's
Yeah.
more suspense than horror, but like I was horrified.
Yeah. It's really good.
That's
I watched a horror movie.
ooh,
I watched
Christmas spirit.
The Invisible Man with
Oh,
Elizabeth Moss. Have you seen this movie?
I haven't. I've wanted
It's
one for a while.
so good. It's so good. I just love. First of all, Elizabeth Moss is a phenomenal actress, and I didn't know that till I watched this. Like I seen her and stuff. I was like, yeah, oh yeah, she's good, she's good. But then I watched this, and I was like, oh, she's really good.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I was like, there's a scene in a restaurant. I'm freaking out just thinking about it, Duncan. I'm freaking out just thinking about it.
Well, this is a play on like the classic Universal horror movie, right? Like The Invisible Man.
So this was supposed to be, I think, part of their whole. Remember when they were going to do the whole dark universe thing,
Yeah.
and then it failed. I think this movie was supposed to be. And if this movie was the first one, I think they would have had a really good start, but it wasn't. I feel like the dark universe is just like one of those things that like
They made a logo before they had a movie. It was that kind of thing.
it's so bizarre. Like I'm so interested in the making of the dark universe, but they're supposed to make this movie. I would love to see more because it kind of ends with the idea that there could be a sequel.
Mhm.
It's basically Elizabeth Moss's abusive boyfriend has a suit that makes him invisible, and he basically uses it to make everyone around her think she's crazy.
Abusive boyfriends. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I mean, there's a really interesting take on this story, right? Because
Yeah,
obviously, abuse is like a very sensitive subject, and you know it's a very real problem. But like, if you take that concept and you're like, okay, for our horror movie, we're gonna take this very real threat and we're gonna give him a superpower. Like that's really interesting that
Mhm.
they're taking such a lens on like a very pervasive issue.
yeah. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun romp, a little
Oh,
an extravaganza for the eyes, an experience unlike no other, Duncan.
wow, I'm sold.
I really enjoyed it. I check it out, my dude.
I think I will. Do you know what platform it's on?
It's on HBO Max, I believe.
Well, thank God I have that.
HBO Max. Have you seen Jojo Rabbit?
I have.
You have, okay.
Jojo
There's a
Rabbit.
lot of good movies on HBO Max. Watch Bad Education too. Have you seen that one?
No, I
With
haven't. I
Jackman?
didn't see that.
That one's really good. I talk about that.
I'll watch it today if I have the mental.
Wait, did I already talk about that in our December one?
You did.
I did. Okay, yeah, it's really good.
I watched Brokeback Mountain.
I quit and I've never seen this movie.
Brokeback Mountain. I mean, okay. Obviously, everyone knows about this movie because it's the gay cowboy movie. And like that's sort of like what it's known for. So when like this was a family movie night pick, so my mom picked it and I was like, ugh.
How does that
Cowboy
serve as a family movie night movie?
Well, it's funny. Like the advertising for this movie when it came out was like very family friendly because like the posters, it didn't show the two cowboys together. It showed them
Mhm.
with their girlfriends. So everyone went into this movie thinking it was just about like cowboy families, and then they hit them with like what it's really about.
Cowboy
And
families.
I this movie, I thought this movie was just going to be like 2 hours of these cowboys like romping in the woods together, but surprisingly it wasn't. There's only a few times where that happens, but this movie is actually about, right, keeping this secret while also trying to perform this like to society standards, because right, they both have families that with kids.
Yeah.
And like, okay, Heath Ledger, so good.
Is he one of the cowboys?
It's Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal,
Jakey Jill.
and they do such a good job. And the wives are Anne Hathaway and Carrie Mulligan, I think is her name.
Uh,
So like it's this huge movie with like these huge powerhouse actors, and it was really touching and like beautiful. Not touching, not like you know it, but like
Duncan, I wasn't even thinking that. Why'd you have to go there? Oh my
I'm
God.
not selling this movie very well.
People
But
see
it's
what I have to
really
deal
good.
with. This is why we're late all the time, just because my brain can only take so much of this.
Wow, it's so rude. Anyway,
I'm
great
sorry. I'm just
movie.
joking. I'm just joshing you, bro.
All right, you can josh me a little. What did you watch?
I watched an Italian horror movie that's
Ooh.
really good. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called The Girl in the Fog. And it's about this guy, basically this high school girl.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's about this teacher, and one of the students at his high school is murdered, this girl.
Oh, bummer.
Um, and he's falsely accused of
Oh,
committing the crime. Like
I
someone's setting him up, they're framing him. And so he has to prove his innocence, but like everyone, like the whole town starts to like turn on him.
the mob mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, and there's so many like you have, this is another one where I think you would enjoy if you checked it
Oh,
out.
cool. Yeah.
um it is subtitles, okay, get over it, a
Yeah.
little
I can
reading.
I can
A
read.
little reading never hurt nobody. I'm not talking to you, Duncan, I know you would, but I'm talking to the audience, okay?
Oh, believe me, I have people in my life who are like, I can't watch a subtitle.
I never learned how to read.
Didn't the Parasite director Bong Joon-ho, didn't he say in like his acceptance speech of like, thank you for understanding with my like one line of text, or like my 1 inch line of text on the
The one
bottom?
inch barrier, he called it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, love that guy.
Oh man.
So the
um
girl in the fog.
The Girl in the Fog, it's an Italian. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely has some like controversial scenes in it where I was like, "Oh, that's uncomfortable." But
Movies are supposed to engage with that side of you somehow.
yeah, but I think the overall story I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed it.
Hell yeah, I might check it out.
All right. How many more do you have left? Because I only have one left.
I got 3 left.
All righty. Why don't you Philly DeFranco and jump right into it?
I watched Palm Springs. Have you heard of
I
it?
love Palm Spring, the
This
Hulu
movie is so wonderful. I
the
loved
one
it
with
so much.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine and How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. How I
Yeah,
Met Your Brooklyn.
How I Met Your Brooklyn.
This is okay. So like I saw the trailers for this movie and I was just like, it's just a romantic comedy Groundhog Day. I'm not interested. But then I finally watched it and it blew me away. This is such a cute, intimate, personal, funny story. Like,
I like too how they took a twist
yes.
on it.
They absolutely like took what it was and then built from it, right?
And what's his name's in it?
Jacob
J.K.
Simmons.
Simmons. I thought J.K. Simmons was phenomenal.
Just kidding,
It
Simmons.
also stars Tyler Hoechlin, star of the CW Superman and Lois.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, that guy.
He's a really good actor because he's really good as Superman, but he kind of plays
He
not,
can play
not the
Duke
greatest
really well.
person in that movie.
Yeah. This movie was so perfect. This is one of those that I will be watching like once a year.
Mhm.
It just made me feel so like light and happy. I don't know. I recommend it to everyone. I wanted this was up for an award, right?
Um, I believe it was. I don't know. I
Well,
think the Golden Globes it
yeah.
was.
Whatever it was up for, it either deserved it or should have won.
Why
I
do they
don't
put
keep
comedies and
awards.
musicals in the same category at the Golden Globes?
Hmm.
I don't know.
All right, your turn. Take it away.
All right, this is my final one. Duncan,
Yeah.
we only have 3 rules in this dojo. Strike first,
Oh my
strike
god.
hard, no mercy.
Oh my god, no.
Follow those rules, and together we will melt this snowflake generation.
Oh, come on. Is that a real line?
It is, and I love it. It's the delivery is phenomenal. So, season 3 of Cobra Kai came out. Oh
Right.
my God. Duncan, every time a new season comes out, I'm always like, it's never going to be as good as the last. It can't be. It can't be. Season 3, oh my God. It comes, it strikes, it strikes. And no mercy. It's just like, here's the story. What I love about this show is that they're not afraid to beat the shit out of little kids. There's this little kid that just walked through a window.
What?
That's awesome. And he's like covered in blood. Like these kids literally, it's amazing.
Oh my god.
And the drama, okay, so low key, one of my favorite characters this season was oh my God, I can't remember her name. LaRusso's daughter, basically.
Right, I remember her.
This season, oh my God, she suffers like so basically the season 2 finale was this big fight in the high school, and like the entirety of season 3 is just the fallout of that. So like some of the kids are in prison, like yeah, and like one of the girls has like PTS. The daughter like really suffers from PTSD, and like she's afraid to see this one girl who fought her. So it's kind of like this big build up, and oh my God, the way they filmed her like having like panic attacks, like I had a panic attack watching it. Like it was so well done.
Oh wow.
Like I was genuinely afraid. Like, oh my God, I feel like anybody on the show could just die any minute. They haven't killed anyone yet, but I feel like they could. Like they abuse this show abuses their characters. Like it just abuses their characters, but it's so fun to watch. Oh my God, Johnny Lawrence, the MVP. We get Vietnam flashbacks of Sensei Kreese back in the day, and we kind of see why he's the way he is. And it sounds so cheesy, but they balance it with the drama so well. It's so phenomenal. It's one of the best shows, honestly, on television. It's the best show on Netflix, I think. It beats out Stranger Things for me.
Wow. Wow.
I've seen this 3rd season twice, and just talking about it, I think I'm going to go in for a 3rd dip in the pool.
You're kidding. Wow.
I loved it. I loved it.
I mean, I know you are one of the only hardcore fans of this show I've ever.
There's a lot of hardcore fans of this show.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. But like the way you
Cobra
talk
Kai
about it-
Dojo is large.
all right. Don't make it sound like a cult. It's not gonna make me interested. Where do you think the series is gonna go? Do you think it has the longevity for like a season 5 and 6?
Well, they definitely set up a season 4. I will tell you that. I think they said they have up to they have they had 5 seasons planned going into it, and I trust them. I mean, they've delivered 3 of my favorite seasons of television, so I trust them.
All right.
I hope they know when to end it.
Right.
I hope because I think this is definitely a show that once it's past its prime, it could struggle. But I mean, they set up season 4, like the end of season 3, that last episode. No one does a season finale like Cobra Kai. Nobody. Like basically the way I watch Cobra Kai when the seasons come out is I watch it as like a 5-hour Karate Kid movie. And like the pacing's phenomenal if you watch it like that. I think it works really well.
The only way I'm gonna watch this show is if it's with you. So once quarantine's over,
no, just watch it, dude.
I'm not gonna watch it.
You are missing out on an experience.
I can't do it. It's
so
too
good.
much.
Oh my god! And the callbacks to the original movie, just like take the lighter and put it up to my heart because it's melting. Okay, like you. Oh my gosh.
Maybe that's my issue. I didn't watch this movie as a kid, so I have no like nostalgic
You don't need to. You don't need to. I don't think you need nostalgia. I think it stands on its own. It really does stand on its own.
Well, I know we watched season 1 and I was kind of like, I kind of get it.
Yeah. Season 1, I think, kind of does rely a little bit on it because I think season 1, they kind of want to dip into the nostalgia.
Well, yeah,
I think they were smart by
starting off
nostalgia, but setting up characters. So then by the time we get to season 2, it's about the new characters.
Yeah.
But there's still callbacks. I mean, season 3 had a lot of callbacks to the second Karate Kid movie.
Sure, yeah.
God, dude, I can't wait for season 4. I cannot wait for season 4. It's so good. It's so good.
Well, I hope it delivers.
It roundhouse kicks you in the heart, Duncan.
All right. That's enough karate metaphors. I got 2 left.
Alrighty, let's rank them out.
This one will be kind of quick. All right, this is a podcast exclusive. This doesn't leave. I've talked about this a little bit before. But
he's about to talk about his My Little Pony obsession.
I will edit that out. That is not true. That is slander. So my grandfather, he helps fund my film school education, and in return, I have to watch whatever movie he tells me to. That's sort of the unofficial deal we've struck up. And this time he was like, let's watch the movie News of the World.
Oh, I wanted to watch. Is this the one with Tom Hanks?
Yes.
I wanted to watch this.
I told my grandpa, oh, this is early access. It's like $25. Like, we'll have to pick another one. And he says, no, you buy this movie and you'll have it forever. So I was like, okay, you're the money man.
So did he buy it for you or did you buy it?
I bought it.
Okay.
I bought this movie for $25. It's forever linked to my Amazon account. Do you mind if I spoil it a little bit?
What? Well, don't give away, like,
yeah,
you can talk about the plot.
No plot, but yeah, like the premise. This movie is The Mandalorian.
Okay. He has a child and he goes across the country, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's about like this guy who does like this like location to location based profession, who finds this like refugee of this incident and then takes it with them, encountering an episodic by scene kind of boss of the week kind of thing, until they get to a point where he has to like let them go. And it's like, I've seen this movie in space, and one of them was green. And you know, Tom Hanks, he does a great job. He's like a very good.
He's America's dad.
The girl he's helping is like native to this Native American tribe. So like she doesn't speak the language. So there's also a language barrier, which is just more like the Mandalorian. And like, I don't know. I thought this movie would have been so great if it came out like 2 years ago. And I don't know, like I could see like almost like that, like a scene that resembled a full episode of The Mandalorian. And I know it's like not a great comparison to keep harping on, but like The Mandalorian was such this huge cultural moment that like a lot of people watched. And so I'm assuming that a lot of people who will watch this movie will have had seen The Mandalorian. And this is just a more Western version.
Alrighty. Well, I still want to check it. So overall, did you think the movie was good?
Have you
for what
seen
it is,
Have you
without
seen Bridge
comparing
of
it to the
Spies?
The what?
Have you seen the movie Bridge of Spies?
I have.
Did you think that movie was good?
I enjoyed it.
My whole thing with Tom Hanks movies is that at this point I can't tell if they're good or just good for the sake of winning an Oscar.
Do you like? I like the Post.
The Post was good. I could, sometimes maybe this is me being jaded and like me like hating awards, but like with the exception of like maybe Sully, I feel like all of
Yeah,
Tom Hanks' last movies have just been they follow the same kind of like they all have the same
I
feelings.
get what you're saying. I feel like the awards are very like it's very like Hollywood politics. Like you have to
Right.
play the game basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, I always get because like whenever I tell people I want to be in film, it's like, oh, you want to win an Oscar? It's like, no, I want to win a Nickelodeon Kids Choice Award. Like
I would
I'm a
rather
freaking real
win
man.
a Kid's
I
Choice
would,
Award than
dude.
an
You
Oscar.
get covered in slime.
Who would say no to that?
I want to get slime. That's my dream. That's literally my dream is to win a Nickelodeon Kids Choice Award.
I don't blame you at all. I think, yeah, I mean, this movie is good, but you can tell it's good for the sake of praise, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. So you have one more, right?
I got one more. I watched.
Well, let's get on with it.
My God. I watched Frances Ha. Have you heard about this?
What the hell is Francis?
Ha.
Oh,
It stars Greta Gerwig, who did Little Women and Lady Bird. The whole movie's in black and white. It has, I think Adam Driver is in it. And
wait, who directed this?
I don't know. Oh, Roman Polanski? That's not right. I'm looking it up. Frances Ha. Noah Baumbach directed.
Oh, the Marriage Story guy.
Yes. This movie is one of those movies where it's just someone like wandering New York for 2 hours and it's in black and white. I should have hated this movie, but I actually really liked it because it's about like direction and like trying to figure out like how you're going to survive to the next month. And like this poor woman's like her friends start abandoning her and her living situation changes. She's trying to get this job, but like she keeps having to take side jobs in order to survive. But
Yeah.
It's just a very like simplistic kind of like trying to find the joys of life kind of movie. And it
What
made
is this? What is this on a streaming service?
I believe it's on Amazon.
Okay. Like with Prime, or do I have to pay for it?
I'm not sure. I don't really remember. This was in January. But yeah, it I think this movie touched on a very sensitive moment in my life because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't know what's going to happen next month.
Thanks, COVID-19.
No one could have predicted that. We might have COVID-20 next month. Who knows? That was a terrible joke.
Have you gotten your shot yet?
No. I think I'm going to have to wait till I'm back in Seattle to get
I don't qualify yet for it in New York.
Really? Why not?
Because I'm healthy.
Oh, poor me. I'm in tip-top shape. Yeah.
Yeah, no, if you don't have a job, which hey-oh, and you're not essential, and you
Hey-oh.
I think they're changing it to third. No one cares about this is about movies.
The point is, Frances Ha is a very intimate personal story about trying to figure out what you're going to do in life. And I was like, haha, mood the whole time.
Frances Ha! Got it?
And that wraps it up, folks. That was January.
I hope you yabba dabba do it, subscribe.
Yeah, like the video if you like the video. I don't know.
Yeah, if you like videos, click the like. Get our engagement going, okay? What's wrong with you people? Comment.
Make sure you tell your friends and family about
me.
And
do you love this podcast? Share it with a friend. Do you hate it? Send it to someone in prison. They deserve the punishment.
Rate it 5 stars on Apple, iCloud, whatever.
Yeah, get us on Letterboxd.
Yeah, someone submit this to the president and have him declare us.
Oh, we almost forgot. This podcast is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. For $1, you too
Yeah.
can shave.
It's also brought to you by Manscaped. Don't
Yes.
use Manscaped and Dollar Shave Club at the same time.
They're teaming up.
Dollar Manscape.
Yeah. Dollar Manscape.
Also
Clean-
brought to you by HelloFresh. Eat food.
Well, yeah, hello, keep your downstairs fresh with your Dollar Shave. I forgot what the other one was called.
Your Mac Weldons to
My
buy
Mac Weldon.
underwear
Antimicrobial.
it'll make your Manscaped area feel great.
The one with the college guys who make their own watches.
All right. Well, now that we've ruined
Our
all
worst
potential
outro
sponsors,
we've ever done.
thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Tickle the like button.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Ah!
I almost ended the meeting. Whoops.
Whoa.